welcome back. That was really hot. Hi!
Hi, we're back. Welcome to Mutiny Moms Podcast. I don't know. You should go.
That'll be the opening.
Hi. It's like the West Kentucky high. Like it's not H-I. It's like, how do you, H-A-H, high?
You got to get the oxygen up in that.
Hi. And then you went a pitch up also. It was the country.
Mine got some twang.
It
was
did.
like,
It was.
hi!
Welcome to Mutiny Moms
This
Podcast.
is where we introduce our boss, Patrick Conyea.
I hate that word.
Yeah.
No, nobody's boss.
Hey,
I'll
welcome
work
back
alongside.
for another
Yes.
episode of the Mutiny Mom Podcast.
Hi.
We have a special, I was gonna be like, today's special mom friend, but you're not a mom, you're a dad.
Close enough.
Hey, for y'all that have joined us on episode 1, welcome back. We do, in typical mom fashion, have some course corrections, right? Some modifications. It's like the grocery list. You're like, I didn't need a pound of sugar. I needed 5 pounds. We had to go back to the grocery list, and we'll do that. But we got a special guest. Patrick, say hello
Hello.
to all the moms out there.
Hello, moms and non-moms. We're not biased here. Hello to
No.
all of you. Glad to
Yes.
be here amongst the Mutiny mothers.
Yeah.
Yes. It reminds me of the Barbie movie. Have you all seen it? Will Ferrell.
No, I'm
No.
not.
And he was like, I have a mother and I love. He's like,
Okay.
he's trying to like talk
it's
about.
one of these type of podcasts.
Yeah.
All right.
He's
got
trying
it.
to talk about like why he is friends to like women, but he's like, and I am the son of a mom.
Yes.
And
I can relate.
Like
have
all
an-
sons.
I have an aunt. and he's like grasping. So Patrick's like, I am a friend.
Hi,
to
mom.
moms.
Yes. I am also a son
Yes, to
of
a mom.
mom.
Yes, she's wonderful.
Yes.
Patrick, we're so glad to have you.
Hey, am I officially the first guest on the Mutiny Mom
first
podcast?
one.
You're the
podcast?
first mutiny man on the Mutiny Mom podcast.
Man, let's go, baby. It feels
And there's a
good.
reason.
Okay.
It's because of all the men coworkers that we have.
Oh, well,
You're-
I got a good idea where this is going.
Phil-
See, this
Yep.
felt right in the beginning, like you were going to compliment.
Now he's
I feel like
regretting
we're
it,
going
Kirby.
a different direct. Complete your thought. I got a pretty good idea
No,
where
this
this is
is
going.
a trivia game we play on the podcast. Complete my thought.
Okay.
So you complete it. I said,
Well-
of all the men that we work with at Mutiny,
I'm the least manly. I think that's where I think that might be where you were going with
No.
that. This is the Mutiny Moms podcast, and of all the men at Mutiny that resemble a Mutiny mom, it might be maybe me. Maybe
said
not.
it.
it's her.
You know, it's her, y'all.
He said it, not us.
I have a lot of BWG tendencies.
Tell the moms ways that you could relate to them. Like tell them about your interests, your hobbies, your palate.
Absolutely.
Yeah, man. So one thing's for sure.
man.
I really love pumpkin spice lattes.
He's
no,
not lying.
I love coffee.
Yeah.
I love shopping. What else was my wife telling me on? Those are the 2 things that I'm willing to
Clothes.
say out loud now.
Like,
yeah, you're well
those
dressed.
types of things. I have a lot of basic white girl tendencies to which I do not run from. I embrace.
Yes.
It's why I'm here. It's maybe
Yeah.
why I was the
That's why-
first guest. Has nothing to do with my capabilities in agriculture at all.
Nothing.
It's just maybe that the audience around the Mutiny Mom podcast, maybe I could relate to because of some of those tendencies.
For
So,
sure.
It's fun.
Patrick
We're
Here we
glad
are.
to have you.
Here we are.
Yeah, Patrick enjoys a good simmer pot in the fall. And
Yeah, man.
loves when Christmas
I
lights.
love scented candles. We just got Christmas lights put up around the house like 2 days ago.
Yeah.
Anything fall scented, apple flavored, pumpkin.
Yeah. Yeah. Also,
He's
here-
more.
for
He's more of a basic white girl than I am.
I
Kirby.
really am, Camille.
it's fine.
Yeah, Kirby meets me in some of those places,
Yeah.
but I'm definitely more
Yeah.
basic than
Yeah.
you are.
For sure. He's also the founder, one of the founders of Mutiny Crop Performance. So, Camille, we're excited to have him on. We thought this is just a really good chance for Patrick to share the Mutiny story, right?
Yeah, I want to hear it. I want our audience to hear it because really, Patrick, it's what drew Kirby in first. Then shortly after drew me in because it resonates.
Thank goodness, because I don't even know if we still be in business if you weren't here. So I'm glad whatever worked. I'm glad that it worked. No, thank you for having me. We started, as far as Mutiny Crop Performance, Justin Clark and I established that company. I believe it was like 2002, 2003-ish, along with Hunter Greenwood. But before that, we had a retail ag location in Mayfield, Kentucky. It's called CNC Ag Solutions. Actually still operates today.
Sorry, did you say 2002?
He
Yeah,
meant
for Mutiny.
2022.
Oh, did I say 2? I'm so sorry. Listen, I was in high school.
I made eye contact and then I tried.
I'm sorry. In 2022, thank you, Moms.
We're in 5th grade.
And Moms will correct you, y'all. Yeah, I was in 5th grade. I was in high school.
Back in 2002.
Back in 2002.
I was in geometry
I was
class.
to Nelly.
No, I was bumping Get Rich or Die Trying. Did that come out in 2000? I don't know. Whenever that came out. Tyler Green would know. You've got my back on that, bro. In 2022, thank you, Kirby, for that correction, I think is when we founded Mutiny Crop Performance. It was just a retail store before that. We ran into a ton of roadblocks along the way trying to be different. We've always, when we started the business, we started it for a reason. We saw some holes in agriculture, maybe some things that we didn't agree with from some larger companies and some people that really moved the needle in U.S. agriculture. And while we will never, ever be big enough to truly impact it at a global level, I mean, maybe that's what the Lord has for us. I don't know. That's never been our intention. We would just see some things, and then locally we said, man, if we could ever just make as much money as we're making right now, right? Like, not a pay raise. It wasn't, it was not. It was not a try to go get rich thing. It was, if we could just make what we're making now, even a little bit less, these were the internal conversations, and go create an organization and truly do right by the growers in our eye, right? And everybody has a different view of that.
That's right.
And I'm not saying ours is different or is better or worse than anyone else. But in that moment, that was the conversation. So we did. It's a good thing that was the mantra we lived by, because we did make less than we did before in the beginning. It's a good thing that we were okay with that.
Yeah.
So there were bumps and bruises along the way as we scale up the business, and then along that 2020 to 21 timeline, Justin, Hunter, myself look at each other and we're like, man, there's a need for this brand or this energy or this type of, the growers want this outside of just this little pocket in Kentucky. And so we thought about ways to expand it. And it wasn't going to be through the brand of CNC Ag Solutions. That has our name in it, right? That's, once we get outside of what we can absolutely keep our fingers on and control of, it's hard to control the culture. And so we met with a couple people, Rob McClellan, who some of you might know, one of the founders of a company called Meristem, great friend, great mentor, him and Mitch Evanston. Those guys were around a lot during that time, and they were like, you guys are different. This is like what could we become? And then I think it was probably Hunter. I hate to give him credit
sure, Hunter,
in this scenario, but I think
Hunter's
said
the best.
It's like a mutiny. A mutiny is what it's a changing of the guard. It's a rising up. We're gonna overthrow, and that's a bit aggressive. Not that we were trying to come in and overthrow anybody, but it did describe our mentality of, hey, at bare minimum, shouldn't we all, as growers and or people in the industry, at bare minimum be asking why we're doing things the way that we're doing it? And if we continue to operate the way that we're doing it, I'm not saying that's wrong. I just think that it's healthy to pose the question, hey, y'all, why are we doing this? And as we dove deeper and deeper into that, a lot of the answers that we got back were because that's the way we've always done it, right? And we know this. If that's your answer as to why you're doing something,
sure,
that's the wrong answer.
It's a bad day.
That's a bad day. And so, anyways, yeah, so we founded the company, and we gathered up different manufacturers along the way and have kind of built it into, and thank goodness one day, I'll speak to this one first. So we knew. Actually, I don't know if y'all caught this today, but we just got done with a grower meeting, and one of our customers that's been with us for a long time actually called me a runaway train. I don't know
He
if
did.
He did.
If you caught that. We're not going to name
quote,
any names.
It was hilarious.
However, I quote, he called me a runaway train, to which he's absolutely right. Well, runaway trains, they need a conductor. They need somebody to hit the brakes. They need somebody to see what's up. And I knew that person for us could be Kirby Green. However, I knew Kirby Green wouldn't come work for us because we're a bunch of knuckleheads and we didn't have much of a business at the time. Thankfully, the Lord worked on this woman's heart, And we got her over.
She's
it.
amazing.
Yeah, she told me no
Just
like
wore me
27
out.
times. No, I'm kidding. And so
And then he showed up like at my house.
and Tyler's like, so full transparency, her husband and I, really great friends growing up, played sports together, went to school together, et cetera, et cetera.
He like
I
made
show
a
up to-
slideshow.
Yeah, I
of
show
them
up to the
growing
house.
up.
He's like, dude, why are you here? This is
my
this is a
gosh.
bit.
This
This is a
didn't
bit.
happen.
And that didn't happen. I'm just kidding. But I've watched the company. I'm very, very proud to be I loved how our customer posed it today.
Yeah.
It was very centered around what I had going or what Justin had going, right? And now it's become, that was so refreshing today for me to hear one of our longtime customers say, Patrick, it used to be you on the stage by yourself as a runaway train. And now today, it's so much more polished. These people complete you, right? And I'm like, no, that's what it's all about.
Yeah.
That's what it's all about. And so we've learned those things along the way and kind of gotten the company to where it is now. And listen, we are not arrived. We are in our infancy, but there's a lot of momentum and a lot of excitement. And I can tell y'all this. You know this because you're internal with us. We are growers. Camille, you're a great farmer. We care about farmers, and daily we are in the process of trying to get it right.
That's important. Get it right. Not
Yeah.
be right. 'Cause
Right.
we don't. The more I learn, Patrick, the more I learn that I know nothing.
Oh, I had
it's
that conversation today.
crazy.
The more I learned, some of those principles in which I stood like rock solid on agronomically
Absolutely.
a few years ago, like maybe even months ago, I'm like, oh man, maybe I shouldn't be as firm there, you know? And as you meet people with different practices and there's so many successful growers out here in the country. For us, how egotistical would it be of us to say the Mutiny way is the only way?
No, not at
Right?
all.
Like that's absolutely insane. And so, you know, we never want to be that company. That's some of the mindset. I think that mindset has allowed us to get to where we are, which is in the grand scheme of things, nothing, right? But it's allowed us to get to where we are, and I think it's what will propel us to scale.
Well, and what I love too about this conversation is that so many times, like we talk about when we watch podcasts like this in the ag world, the agronomy world, it's sometimes, y'all don't get all offended. It's sometimes either about being right versus getting it right, but also like we're sharing alongside like the journey of Mutiny. And you all have done that, like when it was just the three guys, and then it evolved, and then it evolved again. And so that's why I think y'all should follow along with us on this podcast, because there's some things that'll be really cool. Like think about us sitting down here together 5 years from now,
Yeah.
and what we're learning and how we've grown and how the team has evolved and how more people are in their lanes. Because you've said it, we've got a really cool thing because we all know what we're really good at.
Yeah.
And on the same hand, we also know,
I know what I'm really bad
what
at.
we're terrible at. And we can all own that, and we laugh about it. And then better yet is that we utilize each other to offset where we're not great, but then go do what we're really, really good at, because it matters if it negatively impacts a farmer, and we all care so much about that. So I love that we're gonna like share along the way over the next few years, because I think we'll sit down 5 years from now, and hopefully, like I've always heard people talk about this, people that write a book and then they go back and edit the book, and people are like, oh, does that feel kind of and the best authors are like, no, I should, if I'm
That's what I do then.
yes,
Yeah.
I know more now. I know
Right.
differently. I know better. I was like flat out wrong, right?
Right.
So so tell me something. For you two are the agronomist in the room, and I know I mentor you all in agronomy because that's what I'm.
She's very good.
I'm very good.
She is
agronomically.
very good at a lot of things. However, I'm kidding. No,
She
Paula,
is all
speak, Paula.
She
Go.
has a false sense of her agronomic.
Yes, we just talked about how self-aware we would like to be as a company and
Sure.
our strengths and weaknesses, right?
Sure.
So,
And that's for y'all too. But tell me something agronomically, if y'all don't mind, I'm putting them on the spot, that you all have either like changed your mind in or evolved in, and like you're like, once I thought it was this, and like here lately, or now I know. What is something like that?
I'll speak first on that. So there's a lot that's happened here recently with our partnership from just I would say that in the past we've been a company that is a liquid fertilizer based company into biostimulants, PGRs, plant health, all those kind of things. And probably made a shift too quickly away from what I saw in the past was you go to your big box retailer, wherever you're at, farmer, and it's hey, let's go put out 400 pounds of 92330, 200 pounds of DAP, 200 pounds of potash. Let's broadcast out the back of a spreader truck. Let's run 185 units of nitrogen up front with anhydrous. Let's plant your favorite decal corn, spray it one time, and then maybe we'll spray a fungicide, maybe not, and then we're going to harvest it, right?
Yeah,
and I'm just like, well, that's what we've done for the last 30 years. And things aren't changing. Well, if things aren't changing, that's because we're not changing. And so probably an error that I made was I was so anti that in the beginning that I just kind of went to another extreme on the other end. It was like, to a fault of dry fertilizer absolutely has its place, y'all. I just want to find where that place is. And so here recently...
And where it isn't.
Yeah, and where it isn't, right? And here recently through the building of our Mutiny Metrics platform with the help of a company called Advanced Agrolytics. Some of you may have heard of them, some may not. In my opinion, the best in the country at analyzing soil properties and the predictability measures around fertility, how it's going to move, where it's going to move. So we've partnered with them, and in a lot of cases, I would try to correct things, whether it be through a band in a 2x2 or an in-furrow or a wide drop application, et cetera, where I'm falling back into the kind of towards the middle of is the foundation matters first, right? Mm-hmm. So NPK, sulfur, calcium, those kind of things, that's what, and then once we set that baseline, as we've pulled tissue, Camille, along the way, what we're realizing is where we've set that baseline as far as soil fertility, and it's got to be in balance. Mm-hmm. All of a sudden, some of these other micros and stuff show up in balance and in the ratios that we want them to show up. And that's something 3 years ago I know I wouldn't have said. Mm-hmm. One, because I didn't believe it. Two, because I just didn't have the information, right? And then once you see something once, and then again, and again, and again, and again. Now, I'm not all the way in this thing of you only fix it in the soil. There's no foliar amendments that need to be done. If you fix it and your soil test is accurate and everything else is going to work itself out. I'm not there, but I'm also not in this camp of that soil tests don't matter, because they do matter to the extent that they matter, right? Not everything on that thing matters, but sometimes it doesn't. So that's, for me, it's just this constant shift of, I love how you said it, Camille. It's so brilliant. You said, the more I learn, the more I realize like I don't know. And that's such a healthy headspace to be in whatever your business is, right? Continue to be curious. Continue to be curious. Continue to try to figure it out. I see some of you, I'm not going to pick on you by name, but some of you in this ag space that it's just like, you've got this thing figured out and it's this way and it's got to be this way. And I just don't believe you. There's just a lot of things out there, and I think we should all extend each other as much grace as we possibly can and just try to learn and listen and learn.
That was spoken like a true mom.
Well, that's, listen, there you go.
But for real, right? Like you learned that really quickly, right, Camille, as a mom, where you have different mom friends and your lives look so different, and the everything about your day might be totally different, but then there's similarities in this way, and it doesn't mean that it's wrong the way she or it's anything. Like that whole parenting space, and it's typically in like online.
Boy, I got a story for that whenever you allow it. Go
ahead, Mom.
This is my parenting story to that.
Yeah.
So my wife and I, we couldn't have children biologically, so we've adopted 2 children. I have a son that's 3 years old. His name is JP. Yeah, he's absolutely beautiful. They're both from the Marshall Islands. Okay. So they don't look like me, but they look how I want to look. That's why we go to the tanning bed, to look how they look. So with that skin. And then I have a little daughter. Her name is Elizabeth Joy, and she's 6 months old. I can tell you, I judged all of you parents so hard pre-having children. And I said all the stuff. I said, I will never allow them to get on an iPad. I will never give them my phone. Look at them. I mean, they don't know how to raise children.
Can't believe they're in a
their
restaurant.
brain power. They're in a restaurant and they've got a cell phone in hand. I mean, I didn't have a cell phone in hand, and I grew up in the 80s and 90s, and I mean, I got through. So you know, I mean, goodness, the rest of you can get through. I mean, that's just terrible parenting. They're butchering the brain. Let me tell y'all something. Everything that I said I wouldn't do, I do it worse than the person that I judged for. Worse. I didn't just meet them where they're at. Like, I did it even more and even worse. And so, you're exactly right, Kirby.
Farming is like momming.
Farming is like momming. I have learned to, man, how foolish was I to look and judge that person in that moment, right? Like, extend some grace. You know what you know. Also, when you think you can put yourself in their shoes, but you really
because all the circumstances are different. The scene I always remember is from the Hunger Games when Katniss Everdeen is like doing the like, you know, the like I'm with you, was it the, number 2, the 2 district or whatever, and she does that like I salute you, because she's just like, I salute you.
Yeah, right.
When I see another mom in public and the kids having the tantrum, I'm like, I'm with you.
I'm with you.
I can't do anything.
Yes.
And you probably can't either.
No, we can't.
Yeah. So there was another point I was thinking about while y'all were conversing. Like, I have tried to parent my 3. So I had 3 kids in 3 years, just full on crazy.
Goodness,
mode.
Camille.
And
chill, bro.
We're kind of past. We are chilling now.
Sorry, Blake.
Welcome to the Mutiny Mom Podcast.
We are chilling now. Can we move on, please?
but I've tried to. I feel like I've parented my kids the same way, but they are so different. And I think about, like, you asked a while ago, like, what have we learned agronomically?
Yeah.
Like, there's no absolute in this space. Like, so in my previous roles in the industry, I've covered, you know, states close to home, Kentucky, Tennessee, Indiana, right here close. Like, now, Patrick, we're working out in Colorado. I was on the phone with a guy in Colorado yesterday. We've worked in Louisiana, Florida, Michigan, like all over the country, heck, up in Canada. And there is no absolute in this space. And again, the more I feel like I learn, the less I know. And you can do different practices and be very successful in different ways. And I was actually the opposite end, Patrick. When I first started hearing about people that were, because I went to 2 different schools, took every soil fertility class at both schools, minors from both schools in soil fertility. I was trained. I know what I know, like pounds removal. This is the way this space works. And so when people first started talking about liquid programs and biology, I'm like, it can't be done.
Yeah.
It can't be done. They're raping the ground, whatever the saying goes.
Sure.
And I have learned and evolved, and heck, what I said a year ago, I mean, I've just been proven.
And there's a happy medium in there, right?
There
you know,
is.
it's the old school way of doing things and pounds of material, and then there's this total opposite. I'm going to say regen, and that's not necessarily what I mean, but just for this example, something in the middle feels kind of right to me. But it's like, you know, you talk to the regen guys, and if you're not fully that way, you can't bring any of this in there, or you've messed up the cycle, and then you know, back and forth. And so, you know, just I find myself in a space of just trying to gather information, to learn, to make non-emotional decisions, to try to help the growers that rely on us giving information to them. And so we are not arrived, y'all. That's the one thing I know. We are not arrived, but boy, it's fun trying to figure it out, though.
Well, and we're going to keep that culture for as long as we all have an impact on that for Mutiny Crop Performance. I mean, that will be who we are. And that's so, right. I mean, I have to, as the sales manager, I have to make the plug. If you want to partner with someone that has that mindset, we're your people. Because we know that we have so much to learn and course correct, and where do we find the happy medium based on the confines of the situation, right? Total like momology here of it's like, what are the confines of the situation, right? We got 3 hours. We got to get showers. We got to do dinner. We got to get the uniforms on. How do we execute? So that's how we operate. Speaking of
I've got a course correct.
Yeah, yes. Camille, you were like, girl, we got to get back on this podcast.
So we left after our first episode, and I was just like freaking out internally.
I was not. I didn't think twice. In full convention.
It's going to be okay.
Yeah.
So Kirby had a $10 pH tester, which is great, by the way.
Kirby got the discount.
Gosh, and I
went to Aldi's and Camille went to Kroger.
So we tested my ice water, and I didn't know what I didn't know. So I had to go home and do some Googling, and I found out that your pH meter is highly affected by temperature.
Okay.
So I bought a pH meter that is not affected by temperature, and we have retested. We're sitting at like a 6.7 pH starting point of water. But this is really important. Actually, I brought...
Oh, look at here. We about to do a science experiment?
Yeah.
Well, I
What's
just
up,
wanted to
dog?
show the hot pink. We've talked about this on the previous episode.
Yeah.
So this is
Mutiny Modify.
It is hot pink. And what we did... So this is just water. So we tested it. It was at a 6.7. We could do it if
No, I'm
we
saying
want
in a
to.
mason jar in Kentucky, that's water?
Yeah.
Well, somebody did question us if it was moonshine earlier.
Yep.
So we added in the Modify. This is actually what treated water looks like. And so tested it. It's at a 4.4, 4.5 when I test this.
So when water, to go back to the product, when you add the product and it's that color, then you know, okay, good, my pH is where it needs to be to preserve half-life, right, Camille?
Correct. Yes. So I wanted to course correct myself.
all right.
I'm always learning. I didn't know that some pH meters were affected by temperature.
What she's trying to say is Kirby went the discount route.
So whose fault is this? Let's apply some blame here, right? Like, let's take some accountability, hand up accountability.
Yeah.
Shout out to Bob Does Sports.
I mean, it's like, there were the name brand Oreos, and I went and got the Cookie Doodle Doos instead. Like, I got the offer.
Cookie Doodle Doos.
That's a thing.
Well, I went with the Milwaukee brand.
Mountain Lightning. Y'all read Mountain Lightning?
Yes.
Dr. Thunder. That was fire, dude. You could go the Piggly Wiggly after in
Yes.
8th grade when you got done for a quarter, and I get a grape Faygo. Oh my goodness.
Do you like the off-brand peanut butter too?
So no, I'm a Jif non-nuts creamy.
Okay.
All right, move on. Mutiny Moms, you too.
Okay, so
Keep going.
we talked a little bit, Kirby. We want to kind of agronomy and mom it. So you got to quit laughing. We discussed this dry fertilizer piece
I work with children.
just a little bit. You're a child yourself.
I know.
You're
I'm
a
trying
child
to
of God.
I'm
Keep going.
I'm a child of God. Yes, I am.
So being a child, and we're bringing this back in. Camille doesn't have time for funny business.
Come
a
on,
lot of the
Camille.
time.
Yeah, bring it home.
Camille,
Mom.
laugh.
I work with this child here,
God.
and these three men, Kirby, they're always coming up with ridiculous product names. So when I first started our humic fulvic product, we called it Riding Dirty, and I'm just thinking about, gotta keep him riding dirty.
Yeah, that's what it was.
So we have a new product, and the name for this product is also ridiculous.
Which one? Which one are you talking about?
Yeah.
Cadillacs
Oh, let's
on
go, baby.
22s.
Dang, sing it, Camille.
Oh, gosh.
Mrs. No Fun is flowing over
she's
here.
like, no shenanigans, but
But I can rap.
Yeah.
It's fine.
Okay, let's hear it then.
Well,
Bet you ain't about it on his mic.
Mutiny Mom rap, go.
You know what the cool thing is? There's a microphone right in front of you.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's.
Let's hit it. You
Lights.
want a beat?
I'm not very
Cameras.
good. I already did
Action.
it.
Okay.
Cadillacs on 22s. No.
All right.
I'll just smile
So-
like a mom. Like
Eric,
this.
cut that. The fail. Yeah.
Oh my gosh. So I want to hear a little bit about it because we went down this whole dry fertilizer piece briefly, but guys are thinking about how they can save money going into this year. And this is a product that you specifically were trying to, when we bring products into our lineup, we're trying to help people solve a problem. So tell us a little bit about Cadillac and why we brought it into the lineup.
Yeah, so Cadillac, so lots of tissue tests, lots of soil sample information. We're doing business now in 30, 35 states, whatever that is around the country. We're getting a better picture of what the landscape of nutrition in all of agriculture looks like. It used to be very much targeted to Kentucky, Tennessee, Illinois, Indiana, right? And then it just grow to where you mentioned we're doing business in South Florida and northern North Dakota, right? And so you have to learn those environments. What we found, though, Camille, through a lot of Camille's work with us, is there are some commonalities. Funny enough, corn is corn, phosphorus is phosphorus, potassium is potassium, no matter what state you're in. Now, as you know, the availability of those and the environment, those are absolutely different. But the nutrient is the nutrient. Here's what we found, y'all. In a lot of your fields, later on in the plant's life cycle, let's talk corn, beans, or wheat. Later on in that plant's life cycle, what we are finding is potassium is a real struggle. Even for those of you, you may have a 5 to 6 CEC with 300 ppm potassium and 8% base saturation. You know, a lot of people in the industry would call those really high levels for that CEC. What we're finding is, even in those scenarios, when we get into late season in that plant's life cycle, the potassium's not in the plant. Because when you look at, you know, Camille, nerd out for a second, crop removal and crop uptake are two completely different numbers, right?
Absolutely.
Especially in corn. And Mr. David Hewlett is a great mentor of mine, a great friend of mine, and he has always told me that corn, especially high yield corn, is it will what is it, how does he say it? A luxury consumer.
Yeah.
A luxury consumer of potassium, meaning this: even if 310 bushel corn removes X number of pounds of K from the soil, it wants to, as far as like crop removal from the grain, etc., it's taking up a lot more than that. Not only to just kind of store for what it needs for the plant to grow, but as we scale up in yield, it wants more and more and more and more. And it'll just kind of store it, and then after we harvest the crop, it'll be released down for the next year and the year after that. We have to make sure that it's there. Okay, so here's what we've done. We have identified through tissue testing, through a lot of the soil stuff that we've done, the problem. The problem is this: K availability late in a corn or soybean plant's life cycle, and assuring that it's in the plant. Okay, solution. Our solution, I'm not saying it's the best, I'm just saying it's ours, right? Is Cadillac. Okay, what is Cadillac? We're a very transparent company. We are taking just regular old 0060, melting that down. A lot of you are doing that locally, and
just
that's
potash.
okay. Yeah, just regular old potash. There's got to be a reactor, you know, some water, and then you've got a blended product. Here's what we know. For years and years, we've been looking at the interaction between humic acid and all of the different nutrients. And here's what we know. For whatever reason, when we blend humic with a potassium source, we see an increased uptake of K in the plant. Okay, that can be strip till with a dry humic. That could be a liquid humic banded with KTS. I'm making something up here, right?
Sure.
But just maybe even a quart of a good solid humic with some potassium acetate. If you do it, run the K, pick your K product, doesn't have to be ours, with and without the with and without the humic, we see differences inside the plant. That's years and years and years, and just trust me that part is true. Okay, so here's what we've done. We've melted down potash. We're blending humic in with it. And then another component that I ain't going to tell y'all because you'll try to copy it, that makes it unique to us. And then we're going out to the market at a reasonable price, okay? So that's what Cadillac is. And then we're going to, you know, it can be blended with 28005. It can go in a side dress application. It can go in a 2x2 application, a wide drop, whatever you want, streamed over the top of corn, streamed on wheat. Et cetera, et cetera. So for us, this is not something that is new. We've worked with a lot of growers around the country that have been doing this in their own way and formulating this product in an isolated situation or two. So we just want to do it at scale and put our own little spin on it. So.
Yeah, and what I think is cool, Kirby, so bringing it back into agronomy, like when we go and we spread dry potash. So I'm a visual learner. I always like to talk about that and think about ways to remember this stuff because there's just so much to remember. Think about spreading sugar cubes on the ground. It's a hard piece that has to be broken down and solubilized with water, and that takes time and it takes moisture. And so when we can take this soluble, it's already been solubilized, it's now an 0013, and we're going to put it in a band close to where that plant is going to uptake it, we're reducing costs because we can pull back because we're putting it right where the plant needs it to be, but it's already solubilized. So the plant, the fancy term is osmotic pressure.
But I don't even know what that means. But.
Basically, again, with my visualizing, so think about putting straws on the roots. So in like a juice box. So you get this high concentration. It wants to go over here to where there's not much concentration. So it kind of like sucks it up through that root, through the straw on the root.
I'm going to have to trust you on that one.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
The more you know.
So, talk to her about that. And then if you need juice box recommendations.
Dang right, baby.
From Aldi. Because apparently that's the route I go. Discount. No, guys, we're so excited about Cadillac. So we want to, when it comes to the products that we offer at Mutiny, we want to constantly be evaluating that. The best feedback, y'all know this, but the best feedback we get when it comes to product lineup is not because we sit in some room that's, none of our rooms are fancy that we ever meet in, and make decisions at the board table of, it is feedback from customers. It is them saying, I'm looking for a solution. I have a problem. I need so that is where it is directed from the farmers across the U.S. we interact with. So, guys, we are coming to a wrap here. As y'all know, we do a little bit of agronomy and a lot of momming on this podcast. So, Patrick, before we wrapped up,
yes,
we have to hear what has been a game changer, and we talk about it for us here lately as a mom in the field, like Mutiny Mom game changer. It could be...
I brought up laundry last time. I do a load a day every day.
Yeah, she's like, my rule is a load a day every day. It never gets overwhelming. And then she has her system where she like rotates it over and all the things.
Yeah.
So it could, it could be as
I
a
got
parent.
one.
Yeah.
So for my role, I live on the road. I probably spend 4 nights a week in a hotel. That's just the stage of life I'm in as we're trying to build this thing out. And I'm kind of the goer and the traveler. It's my ditty bag, y'all. Y'all know what a ditty bag is?
I do not.
No, wait. Hang on.
Like daddy, like Taylor Brett
my
says,
ditty
my ditty.
bag. Yeah, my ditty bag. My ditty bag. I used to put all my bathroom stuff. What would y'all call that?
Toiletries? Yeah.
Yeah, but
I thought you were going
It's
to say
got
like a
nothing to do with
Walmart bag.
it's got nothing to do with a toilet, though.
Well, you hang it in the room where the toilet is.
Yeah.
Okay, well, why don't we call it shower trees then?
My ditty bag.
You know what I'm saying? In my ditty. What's a ditty? Fair. I see that coming. I see that from a mile away, and I don't know the answer to that. My ditty bag used to be, Kirby, you know this about me. I used to pack in a Walmart sack.
Yes.
So I would take my drawers, my socks,
Lord.
my pants, my shirt, and I would tie them together. I love that about them. You could tie them together, and
a
then
great
your
feature.
stuff's it's a good feature, and your stuff is. I snorted a little bit. I hope that didn't come through in the mic. My stuff is secure, and I would walk into a hotel like carrying 3 Walmart sacks. That's how I got in and out. Even up until the last probably 2 years, I would at least have a carry-on that I would take around the country, and then I would. In the Walmart sack, I put my, razor and my shampoo, toiletry.
Face mask.
All my red light therapy.
Yes.
I did one of those the other day, by the way. Just
It's
I've
great.
never done
I
it.
could tell.
See,
FYI. I just one treatment. It was at my house.
You look great.
And thank you, Mom. So now, guess what I got? Christy at work got me a ditty bag. It's leather. It zips up. And all my stuff, you'll appreciate this, Mom. All my stuff has a spot. And I never move it out of that spot. My electric razor goes in one side, zips up with the charger, stays there, left hand. I can walk you through the series of where
You have a system.
everything. It's a system.
it's a game changer.
My ditty bag is a system. I know where it's at. I don't have to repack when the toothpaste goes low.
Yeah.
You replace
You
it.
know.
You put it back in the same spot.
Wow.
So, for me, as a very unstructured individual, thank you guys. This has been a game changer for me. So that's how I'm momming it these days.
I am so proud.
Thank you.
Yes, of you.
Thank you.
Camille, what's been a game changer for you lately?
Oh my goodness. So with Christmas coming up, all the kids having to have themed, you're not in this stage yet, but this week at school is Christmas theme week. So we've got to have today's candy cane day. We got to wear red and white shirts with their uniform bottoms. Yesterday was Christmas tree day. So planning a week in advance. So making sure I'm reviewing the week before the week, if that makes sense. But this time of year, it has to happen because there's just too much going on. What about you, Kirby?
Okay, I love it. If you're not using this feature on Amazon, you should be, where you create wish list. So you have lists, and then, because what happens, I was so glad you mentioned this, it's not just Christmas, but it will be for like birthdays or even and you hear your kid or your spouse say something, and you're like, ooh, I want to tuck that away for another day.
And
maybe
you
it's not
forget.
always Christmas.
I'm
You'll forget.
trying to think of what to get my mom for Christmas, and she said things over the last 6 months. And I'm like,
Yes.
I can't remember.
So Amazon, I shop local, but I do love that I'll be sitting there and somebody will say, oh my gosh, I just really did it, fill in the blank. And if that is something you can purchase from Amazon immediately when appropriate, then go to the app, type it in, and then you save it to wish list, and you don't even have to share them with anybody, right? So then come Christmas time or birthdays or even just a general like thank you gift or
Kirby, be
whatever.
honest.
Are you
How
surprised?
big is your wish list right now?
My
if we
wish
were to
list?
open up your Amazon, well, probably not that big because you've
It's-
executed
she-
on them.
and then she
your
clears it.
tenacity. And
Yeah.
yeah, right. So you
Well,
probably, or there's a world in which like
and
you're
let me
planning for the next
just-
3 years.
Let me just raise my glasses, my nerd glasses up, because it's a lot of books.
Okay.
You know,
No,
it's
that's
like
great.
y'all
Yeah.
aren't surprised.
No, I'm
it's a
not.
lot of books.
Okay, a lot of books.
And and ask me about any. I'd be like, oh, let's talk about this book that we read this past year. But it is, and it's not. It's for my kids. It's for my spouse. But immediately writing those down, and you don't even here be my advice too. Even if you're like, okay, their birthday is not until 6 months from now, go ahead, lock that in, get it done. Get it ordered, and then that way it's like not a stress, because I do not like gift giving where it's just like
Random.
and it's like, oh, I just need to go like buy a bunch of junk because I have to,
Right.
or like I just need to buy something because I feel like I have to. Then I can have something that's like, oh yeah, I did think about that, they did say that, because like you said, the time hits, that week comes up and you're like, oh my gosh.
I know.
So that's my Christmas time advice, and that's probably
That's a
next year
good
thing.
one. That's a good one.
Use your Amazon wish list. So
and the ditty bag. I'm going to have to
the
look
ditty
into
bag,
this.
yes. Hey Patrick, thanks for coming on the Mutiny Mom
Thank you guys.
Podcast.
It was my pleasure. Awesome.
We loved having you.